Okay. And I'm not sure if you guys knew, but I actually had COVID last week. I felt on Thursday I had a dentist appointment. She replaced a filling, and so she froze my face. And then on Thursday night, me and the lads did our live stream, and my face felt kind of funny. And I just thought it was the freezing coming out, you know. And then the next morning, though, I was still feeling that way. And so by like 11 or something like that, I was like, oh, this was weird. So I did a test, and I came out positive. And so that meant that we had to everybody stay in all weekend, even though Jen and the kids have had it and they've had their vaccines, but we still stayed in. And then on Sunday night, I had no symptoms at all on Saturday and Sunday all day. So on Sunday night, I tested myself again, and I'm negative. So there you go. I must have got it from Jen and the kids like last week or the weekend before and just didn't notice. And so anyway, so there you go. I had COVID. So I'm in the club. Okay, I'm recording now. Let's do it. G major. Ready? Go. Karen in. Okay, so now let's do the arpeggio. And with some double stops too. So we arpeggio first. Ready, go. Hi, Karen. Let's go ahead and do that again. Because mine was good, but it wasn't. I wouldn't give myself 100%. So let's do it one more time. I'm going to try for 100. Ready? Go. For me. How are you guys feeling in the key of G? Doing pretty good? Okay, let's do the scale and arpeggio faster. Alright? See if you can kind of get the immediacy of being in tune on the first try. Get that happening a little bit. So it's going to be kind of like this. Okay? Ready, 2, 3, go! So for myself, I would give myself probably a 97 because there was a couple of notes there I had to pull in. All right. How about you guys? How did you feel about how that went, the faster tempo? Not too bad? Okay. Try to kind of assess yourself, see what might have went a little bit wrong or not right the first try. Karen's going to wrestle with her violin there for a while. You go ahead and do that. Let us know when you get the better of them. Okay? And let's do it again. Exactly the same, okay? Except better. A 1, 2, 3, go. Mine was really good that time. Sometimes you get the hand in the right place and you don't even have to think about it, because I certainly wasn't. And the fingers were coming right down where they should. I just love that. Isn't that great? Now, how did you guys feel the second time around? Getting a little bit better? That's great. Let's try some double stops in the key of G. All right? Poor Karen. What's going on with your fiddle there, Karen? She looks closer. Oh man, it's major surgery. Using the peg and everything. I never touch my pegs. She looks like she's getting closer.
I was in a workshop yesterday, and for an hour I was messing with it. The D string just keeps, it's the dryness, eh? And I have a little, what do you call it? One of these humidifier little guys.
That's not a humidifier, that's a humidity gauge.
Sorry, gauge.
You are very dry. I can see that your place is very dry.
Oh,
see that?
And I have the humidifier going.
Yeah.
That's almost 40. It was at 20%.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So still quite good. But anyway, I'll just keep. I'll get the D string was slightly out of tune, so I just tried to give it a little nudge, and then it totally loosened again.
Let me show you. Let me show you this trick here, Karen. So because the reason that the pegs slip is the reason the dryness makes them slip is because they get a little bit smaller, right? And so yeah, twisting is good. Here's the fiddlemaker way of doing it. You put it, first of all, you hold it between your knees, fiddlemaker style, right? And then you interlace your fingers, put one palm on either peg, and squeeze them in there. Squeeze them in. Like that. See that? Okay? Give that a try and see if it'll stay put, because it's a tapered peg and a tapered hole, so if it comes out at all, it just lets go. So, yeah. So so interlace your fingers nice and tight, like you would usually, and then put it around. There you go. Yeah, see that? You can get some good jamming power there. Did it go in?
I'll let you know in a minute.
Okay, you should feel it. You should feel it nudge in there a little bit as you squeeze it. Okay, and then you tune it, and then you do it a little bit again to make sure it doesn't come back out.
Do you ever use these things in your fiddle?
I used to have those, and then, I don't know, they got sort of rotten. I need to get another set, because definitely that'll help too, so.
Yeah.
The other thing I found is to get an old pill vial, poke holes in the top, and put some sponges in, soak it, and then put that in your case up near the top.
Yeah, that's a really good way to do it too, especially if you keep your fiddle in the case all the time.
Yeah.
It's really good. I have to use those snakes.
Beverly, long time no talk.
I have to use those snakes on my dad's fiddle. She's old, and she's split many times. See the front of it there? Split many times. See that? So I have to keep I use those snakes for that, because otherwise she's going to get totally dried out and crack on me. Anyway, so as Karen wrestles with her fiddle, we're going to practice some double stops in the key of G, okay? First of all, we're just going to play them straight, like we usually do. once we get it working, everybody feels comfortable, we're going to do a little bit of this here. See that? That's a little bowing pattern. Hand, 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 arm, arm. It's a really good one for fiddle players because that's basically what we do. 90% hand, hand, 10% arm. Okay? So first of all, let's just do the straight double stops just to get them in tune. Here we go. Ready, slow. Okay, mine were really good for once. I usually miss, at least one, but that time was really, really good, and it felt good on the bow. How did you guys feel about your double stops? Not bad? Oh, Pearl's like thumbs up, right on. Well, then let's do it again. Exactly the same thing, except better, and then we'll try that bowing pattern. Ready? Go. How are we feeling? Now this one, the third, on my first attempt, and this is very often with me for some reason, my first attempt, my B was sharp. And I had to bring it in. Everybody hear that come in there? The third is a little harder to hear because it's always modulated, even when it's in tune. But when you get it in tune, it's pretty clear, okay? Now, any questions or problems before we try this bowing pattern? Besides Karen's eternal problems with her violin. No? Okay, so here's the bowing pattern. So it's a little thing they call hand, 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 arm, arm, and it looks like this. So 4 notes just with the hand, down, up, and then the arm, down, up. And we want to try to do it in time so that it kind of is proportional. So it sounds like this. Ready, and... Everybody understand what we're going to do here? Okay, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, go! bows were moving quite nicely there as I was looking at the Zoom screen. Really, really good. Are you having decent success staying on the 2 strings the whole time? Mel is like, nah. What happens there, Mel?
I still have yet to figure out all these double stop combinations, so I've been trying it on my own, but yeah. So my fingering.
You know, okay, and it's good, of course, the more sure you are with the fingering, the easier it is. But remember that it's not so much the fingering we're practicing, it's more the bow, you know, to get on the 2 strings, because there's so many combinations. There's just infinite combinations of double stops. This is just an example. See what I mean? But certainly, if your left hand knows what to do, your right arm moves a lot easier for sure. Okay? So keep that in mind. We'll try it again though, so you get more practice at it. Anybody else have anything they want to say about this bowing pattern or double stops, or in general, before we try it again? All right, let's do it. One more time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. How are we feeling now? Still doing pretty good? All right. So now, let's try going a little... Oh, yes, Susan.
The second one's always a little crunchy.
It always is.
Not in a good way.
Yeah. The second one is a third, so it's still going to have... Here, I'll show you what it sounds like when it's in tune. So that's bang on in tune, but you still hear a little crunch there, right? You still hear a little... And it's just because it's the third. The third has two ways that it can be. It can be a major third and a minor third. You hear that? Very dark and mysterious. Okay? And I think that's why it modulates. You know, so when you get it in tune with another note, there's still going to be some modulation. You just got to figure out when it's in tune, how much is there. And I'll show you on my fiddle. Most fiddles are the same. So you see it's very tight. Very, very tight. The flatter I go, the wider it gets. You hear that? And here it's in tune again. So that's the third, and that's what it should sound like. It's not one of those bang on ones. So there should be a little crunch, but not too much. Does that help you, Susan? Okay, good. Let's go a little faster. And just move that bow with abandon as much as you can. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh my God!
Now, that happened yesterday too, so I put it back together and I could see it wasn't completely flat on the violin.
Yeah.
So now I'm loosening all the strings and put it back together, so...
Oh God. Okay.
You know, it's a learning experience. And worst case, I'll be taking it to, like I usually go to Philip Davis.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll go and say, okay, I need the pegs, you know, glued, or not glued, but you know what I mean, whatever. And I was thought about those little peg things, you know, the nice, I don't know if that's better, but anyway.
Okay, let me give you the lowdown on a few of those things that you just talked about. First of all, Philip is a great guy, and I've seen his work. It's very, very good work, right? So he will take care of you. With your pegs, if you're having a chronic problem with your pegs, then maybe they need to be redone. Can you hold up your fiddle to the camera like this?
Which way? Like, is that good?
It's on the side.
That way?
Yeah. Now, it looks to me, did you say you were having the most problem with your D string?
Yeah.
Your D string looks totally worn. The peg.
Oh.
The peg does. Do you see how much it's sticking out on the other side of the fiddle?
Yes.
Compared- Yeah.
Compared to the others, yeah, now I see it.
Check out my fiddle.
Oh.
My fiddle has never had the pegs done. Okay.
Oh.
And this is how much they're sticking out. That's what it's supposed to be. The only one that's sticking out just the tiniest bit more than I like is the E. See that?
Oh.
Otherwise, that's what it should look like. So if your peg is stuck all the way through there like that, it's just worn. You probably just need a new one. So, and what they do is with pegs, see, it's a tapered hole and a tapered peg. So if they don't match completely all the way around, it's going to slip on you like crazy. Okay? So what they do is, the first thing they do is they'll get an oversized set of pegs, right? And they shape them down to fit the holes that are there already. Okay?
Oh.
And if that doesn't do the tricks, because sometimes it's not the peg, sometimes it's the hole that's worn. You got to remember that it's ebony peg, maple box. Ebony is a lot harder than maple, so they're mismatched.
These are, I mean, this was a Chinese violin,
Yep.
you know, all in, including the case. I don't know, would that be ebony?
Oh, it usually is, but if it, oh yeah, definitely, it's definitely ebony. But if it's not ebony, it's really, really hard wood. So sometimes it's definitely harder than maple. So what happens is sometimes it's the hole. Now you don't want it to be the hole, because if it's the hole, then that means they have to sometimes redo them, right? I suspect it's your peg, though. I'm looking at it there. It's sticking out really far. So I think it wouldn't be too hard of a fix. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is your bridge. Hopefully you got some marks there from where it used to be.
Oh, yeah. No, there definitely is. And I know it has to be on there flat. And
Yeah.
anyway, we can mess with it. But you know what? I will phone him and, kind of get this all fixed up. So you know what I'm going to do? I guess I could sit and listen.
Well,
And
just
then I'd rather-
you might as well get her working. So, because it's always good to practice getting the violin, getting
Okay,
the.
I'll do that.
Why not? And then you can go to Philip. See, when you go to Philip, you can say to him, "How did I do with my bridge placement?" And if he says that you did a good job, then you'll know how to do it in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll listen, and I don't know if it's annoying to watch me, or I can block out my...
It's not annoying at all. No, and I can keep an eye on you. So you just go ahead and keep wrestling with that thing, okay? Okay, cool. So that's the double stops, and now let me think. What should we practice? I'm taking requests. This is the all request jam hour. So what should we practice in and around the key of G or E minor or A minor even, something like that?
Drunken Landlady.
Drunken Landlady, what a great choice. Yes, okay.
Yeah, I was behind the bar, but I can't find the wise maid. She left the building.
She's wise. Okay, cool. Well, let's start in on all three of those. It'd be really, really good. We'll start with the Drunken Landlady, okay? We'll play, and let's do it because it's been a while. So let's start slow, and we'll bring her up in tempo. All right, The only thing about this new office is just fine, except that it's on a hill, downhill, and I keep traveling downhill by whether I want to or not. But anyway. Okay, so here we go. Thank you. Check in here. Make sure everybody's got everything in hand, as it were, so to speak. Is it okay? Okay, we're gonna up the speed. I'm thinking maybe something like. Okay, that's gonna be nice because that's kind of an approaching speed there. A little bit of feel in there. Oh, 1, 2, 3. That was a bit of a clip. Let me tell you what it was. I'm thinking, making a guess that it was 80. Ooh, not 80. It was about 75, is what we just did there. How do people feel at 75? Were you struggling or were you making her? Making her. Susan, half and half? Okay. Anybody else? How about you, Calida? How are you feeling at 75? Good. Oh, good. Okay. How about you, Pearl? Good. Karen, did you get your fiddle in tune? Looks like it.
Not quite. I'm still like just, I'm still listening to you for a minute, and then I did put you on mute so I could hear my tuner.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still wonky, but I'll keep working at it.
It's almost there.
I got my humidifier going full blast. I never know. Maybe.
Oh my God, my place is dry too. This is the temporary house. Our other place, that was the advantage to having a leaky basement, is that it was nice and humid all the time. But this place has forced air, and it's down around 50, which is, I know it's not really low, but it's, for me, I don't feel comfortable at 50. So I have a humidifier and I have it going all the time. It's one of those big tower ones. And that seems to really help. My buddy Ross, the piper, he just had his basement redone, and they did something that damaged the thing that adds the water, because he bought this thing that humidifies the air coming out of the vents. And he's down at 25% relative humidity in his house. There's no insulation in the whole place at all, Anyway, so it's the sign of the times. So January, February are the worst for that, for sure. Yeah.
Hey, quick question about humidity. So let's say, your fiddle was in tune. You wrapped it up in blankets and down duvet and all that. Does that help?
Nope. No, the only thing that's good is your case, right?
Yeah.
So you have your case, and if your place is really dry all the time, the best place to keep your fiddle is in the case, especially if it's a good one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you humidify the case. That's because you can, right? So, like Bev was saying with the sponge, or there's many. You go down to Heinel, they have many different ways that you can humidify your case, and or put the thing into it, which is also good. But I find if you have a case, that's kind of the best, most controlled environment that your fiddle can be in, especially if you humidify it yourself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. The blankets and stuff don't do anything, unfortunately. The water just goes right out of there or into there, whatever you don't want.
And I have to fiddle in the case and then blankets around. But anyway, okay, I get it all.
Yeah, you just need to seal the water in. Like you just plastic or whatever. My case is great. It's not that expensive. It was like $180. It's called Aileen, and it looks like a saxophone case, but it's really nicely hermetically like really, really good seal. You know what I mean? The old wooden ones weren't as good, but the new plastic ones are quite good. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a hygrometer in your house, do you want to keep the range somewhere between 30 and 50, or do you know?
50 between 50 and 60 is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grapefruit cola.
Okay. Thanks.
You know what I've done? I've got the humidifier going, and I'm in a room. I've shut the door. So I'm just going to get this room up to a certain humidity level.
Well, that's the ideal. That's what you really, really want, of course.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is, fiddles don't mind humidity, that's for sure, right? They don't even really mind dryness that much. They just don't like the change. That's the main thing. They don't like the change. So if your fiddle gets used to a lower humidity environment and it's okay, well then it's okay. But if you start changing it, that's when it really doesn't like it, because basically when it gets humidified, it swells up. And it can be kind of like in moderation, it's a good thing, right? Because the joints swell together, everything gets a little tighter, and it's probably good for the instrument. Too much humidity, like for instance Eva McCauley, who went to, did you hear that story? Oh my God, insane.
Oh.
The whole thing. So she was in India teaching yoga on an island off the coast of India. Very humid place. And she put the fiddle on the kitchen table, went to bed. The next morning, the whole thing is apart on the kitchen table. Just fell apart because of the humidity, right? Because it's it's hide glue. It's water-based glue. So when a violin maker takes a fiddle apart, for instance, my friend Kim had a cappuccino machine, right, with the little steamer, and he had a hose attached to the steamer with a syringe on the end of it. So if he wanted to take the neck off, he'd put that syringe in there like that and pump water into it until all the glue let go, and then take it off. See what I mean? So that's what happened to Eva's fiddle, is that all the glue dissolved, right? So too much humidity is bad, but the lack of humidity is the biggest thing, and the change to it. Because when the water leaves the wood, that's when a crack can happen. Okay?
You can also case humidifiers. They're like
Yeah.
these little box, and you just screw them in your case, and then.
Yeah, and you'll see a whole range of them at Heinel, all different kinds of case humidifiers. But I do find if you want the most control, then unless you can humidify your whole house like Ross did, he got the attachment that keeps it at a constant humidity. It's not working right now. But unless you can humidify your whole house, the case is the best way to do it. Now you see, I have a little hydrometer here on this thing, and it's at 40, right? And it has a normal range between 50 and 75 is what it says to be the normal range here for humidity. See that? So yeah, so I like it around 50 to 60 is, for me, a comfortable humidity for my instruments. Okay? Worse for Ross. Those pipes are way worse. The thicker the piece of wood, the more susceptible it is for some reason. So the pipes are terrible. And flutes too. Almost every flute cracks in its life. Okay guys, I want to try this at 85. Okay? Now here, I'm going to give you a little example of how 85 sounds. And then we're going to try it. Just one sec here, so I'm going to take the sound off because people hate the sound of the clicker. Okay. So here's what it's going to sound like at 85. Okay? Let's do it. I'll do it twice. So if you don't get them with the first gun barrel, you'll get them with the second. 1, 2, 3. Susan, so tell me, what was the first thing that went wrong when you were trying to go fast?
I just couldn't keep up.
At what point did you realize you couldn't keep up?
Pretty much the second bar.
The second bar?
I think I did metronome training.
Metronome training. Well, yeah, playing with the metronome is not easy. It's not kind of an immediately available thing to do, for sure. So maybe for you, we got to work it up a little bit more. Okay. So when you're practicing this week, stick to the 75. Okay, and we'll try it again at 85 next week. See if anything improves. How about you, Mel? How did you do?
After the second line, I was lost, but I just kept on playing at my own speed. I thought, what the heck? I can't do this, so I'll just don't do the tune.
And what do you find? Like, where did you get stopped? Like, you said the second line?
This second line, like, the fingers aren't flying like yours are, so, yeah.
Okay. And because is it that you don't know what's coming next, or is it?
I think if I had the tune memorized, so it might be better.
Yes.
I read the sheet music all the time, so I just can't keep up.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people talk about that. It's like driving faster than your headlights with the Skidoo, right? You're reading, and so. But what we're gonna hope for is that you want to learn these tunes. You want to learn them so that your hand already knows them. You know, one thing I'm working on with some people. I have some people that are kind of getting along pretty good there, and they have this thing where I'm trying to get them to trust their hand. You know. Trust that your hand knows the next lick. You don't have to read it. You don't have to think. Your hand will just do it, and then you'll be back on. See what I mean? So now with this tune, I don't know if it's at that point. You might need some more goes to get your hand to know it better. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we'll work on that. We'll work on getting away from the music and relying on your hand a little bit more. Okay? Anybody else? How was your experience going fast? 85. You liked it?
The rolls.
The rolls, yes. Okay. So you find they kind of suffer when you try to go fast?
Yeah, at that point it was going so fast that my hand physically couldn't keep up or I'd be late for the next bar.
You mean like doing the roll? If you did the roll, you'd be late?
Yeah, I did the first two and then I was late. And so I didn't do the next two or the next one in the second part because I just couldn't keep up.
Well, yeah. And you made a good choice there, Pearl. You made a really good choice. When I'm going really fast, like for a dance, the dance is up at 120, the rolls are the first thing to go. Okay? I usually replace them with cuts because in any case, like cuts at a dance are way more effective than rolls, right? Yeah, the dancers can hear them better. They're a little bit more rhythmic and percussive. And they're easier to do fast. So if you were to do cuts in this tune, I mean, I'm still hoping you're going to get the rolls in there. But if you were, it would sound like this. That's all the rolls there is in there, just those up posts. So if you were to abandon them, you might do that instead. Okay, it still sounds totally cool, and the next time around, you might be able to manage a roll. Okay. So,
I'll try.
and also, I thought while we were doing our skills, and we'll do this next week. I want to practice rolls on a major scale. We're going to do it in G major, and it's going to look like this. Practice all your rolls, every one. You do it in a few keys and you practice every one that there is. Okay? And we'll practice that. We'll do it together. See how fast we can do it before people's fingers suffer. Like that. Okay? Anybody else want to comment on how did you do, Bev?
It was my bowing. I start to, if I can't keep up with my bowing, I start to slur.
Yeah.
Just to get them all in. So left hand for this is okay, like for this tune, but
the right
the
hand
has to catch up.
Yeah. So do you find you have a plan though, right? You have a bowing plan?
Yeah, it's to catch up with you.
So that
I was
okay.
looking at you and I couldn't tell whether you're doing longbow or not.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but not all the time. So I'm trying to figure out where you're actually.
And I've thought about that a lot because, like, of course, I don't make conscious decisions about this stuff. It's just I'm trying to kind of get a certain sound going. But what I have discovered is that I tend to single bow when there's string crossing. See that? So, see that? I might not do it like this. I would just kind of make it nice and neat. See that? Or, I don't know. Now, that's the best example for this tune. But then, in sections that are kind of more melodic or scaly, I really go to town with it. Also, another thing is anything that's on the same string, I usually slur it. I learned it from the Irish people, okay? So if you have like 3 notes that are on the same string, it's really nice to see that? You get that popping sound with a little speed, okay? So those are my few little hints to give you about when I'm doing longbow and when I'm not, okay? And that's why. So it might give you a little bit of an insight instead of just kind of watching me and kind of matching me. The other thing is, next time I do it, might be a little different. I'm sorry. Okay? So anyway, let's try it again there, guys. 85. And everybody's just going to keep jumping in the skipping rope, just like Mel said there. Just keep playing, all right? We'll put this metronome on. Oh, we'll talk about working with metronomes too. It's something that I have not really addressed. I'll figure out a way to teach you guys how to use it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So that's the goal, everybody. If you're not there, keep practicing at 75. Okay? Keep practicing it at the tempo you can do it right, and then we'll get it up there, okay? Now let's take a look at the Wise Maid. I think that because that has string crossing, and that would be a good one to illustrate these bowing things I was talking about. And I want to put them together. I think that'd be really cool. Sure. Oh, but we were doing the Drunken Landlady and the Maid Behind the Bar, and then the Wise Maid, right? Because the story was she owned the bar and she became a drunk, and then she had to work behind the bar for a while because she lost the bar. But then she smartened up and got dry, and now she's the Wise Maid, right? That's the deal there that we're doing. So get out the Wise Maid. We're going to practice that one. I just got to run to the bathroom real quick.
So I'm impressed, Cleta, that you can do it at that speed.
Oh, well, are you thinking what for you actually know? really. But that seemed faster than 85 to me anyway. We'll have to check him on that.
When we were playing it before, we got it up as far as 70. So that was pretty fast for us. So yeah, we to 85 all of a sudden was kind of, yeah, adventure stuff.
Karen, what workshop were you at? You're muted.
There we go. Okay, so it was organized by, it's called Shivering Strings, and it was people like Gordon Stobie, Kelly Trottier, Mark Sullivan, and it went on for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, from 1 to 5 in the afternoon.
Oh, neat.
It was fun when they used to have them up in Nova Scotia, because it's the only fiddle camp that actually was at a motel instead of out in some place where you had to run and find a bathroom. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Anyway, and I like the fact that, they're doing it, they do some of it online, just because, you don't always get a chance to go to Nova Scotia or wherever, but, yeah, so it was really good. I actually did piano on Saturday with Stacey Reed, and then Sunday I took the intermediate fiddle with Mark Sullivan, Donna Turk, and Kelly Trust.
Oh, sounds pretty good.
Is anyone thinking of doing the Celtic College this year if it goes forward?
I think it's gonna go.
College.
Oh yeah, I think so. Because I'm supposed to be teaching.
I come up that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or behind up.
Yeah, good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
My whole band is teaching this year, actually, including Ross. He didn't teach the last time around. He just came for the festival, but he's doing the whole week this time, so it should be really good. What's that? What's
The
that?
lineup of musicians is amazing.
Oh yeah.
No, I said I got my Airbnb booked last month because they tend to fill up fairly quickly up there. So
That was one of the main problems they were having with Godrich this year is where to put the artists because they always billet them, but with the COVID they couldn't, So I'm not sure what they're going to do with people. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting my tent trailer, and me and Jen and the kids are going to camp out at Points Farms, which is this beautiful little park, not far, 6 kilometers from Godrich. And so it's gonna be really, really nice, but I don't know where the rest of the guys are going. Last time I played there, they billeted me a really nice house, and I had the whole place to myself. And then Ross came up for the college, for the festival on the Friday, and we had this big raging session at the Park House Pub on Friday night. Went until they were kicking us out, I know that. And I lost track of Ross because this other piper had showed up with this chanter that he had made, right? And they go off to drool over the chanter and nerd out, right? So then the end of the night's coming, and Ross is supposed to come to my place to stay, and I'm looking for him. And I went 3 times back into the pub, and the missus Herb's wife, I can't remember her name, was just like, there are no pipers left here. So I went home without him, and it turned out that he went into his car, and he slept in his car in the parking lot because he couldn't find me. And the next day he had to do a concert with Liz Carroll. And he was in such bad shape, it was just ridiculous. And he said, he played a tune, and Liz said to him, wow, that was a really great tune, Ross. So, what was the name of that tune? And Ross goes, today is not a good day. So anyway, I don't know what they're doing with people this year, but that's been the go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm giving up on the fiddle.
Have ya?
But I'm going to take my laptop downstairs to the piano. And if you can tell me what key is the Wise Maid in?
D, key of D.
Okay, so I'll mess around.
Oh, please do.
So
Excellent.
let's see what I can do with the piano. Yeah, okay.
That sounds good. Now, this is a bit of a blast from the past there, guys. We haven't done this tune in quite a long time. So let's take her slow to start with. Okay, it starts off with a great big F roll. Like that, okay? ready, go. about the wise mate? Not too bad? Okay, so that means we're going to try it a little bit faster. Now, one of the things that I'm noticing as we go here, when we go to do those string crossings, it's going to be a lot easier to do it like this than it is to do it like this, okay? So really try to resist the urge as much as you can to do that. Just try to keep her as tight as you can, okay? So now, let's see. That was, I'm thinking that was about 70. Let's see here. Oh, and I'll turn my sound on. Okay, I heard, when I was in the bathroom, I heard somebody saying that they didn't think that was actually 85. Nobody ever believes me. I know it. That's why I keep the metronome on here, you know? Anyway, so... Yeah, I think what we were doing there was about 70. Yeah. Actually, it was a little slower than that. So let's try it up at 80. Okay? Here's 80. So you believe me. Okay. Let's give her a go. One, two, three, go! Wise made it 80. How did we do? Okay there, Bev? So, and I watched your bowing. You got a good plan. You're doing pretty well. All the stuff I would do for bowing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I was doing more separate bowing, I think, for that. So
you kind of have to, eh? In these parts here. If you didn't, it would be kind of. It's not impossible, but it would definitely be more available single mode. Yeah. Anybody else? How about you, Mel? Now you jumped in a few times. How did you do?
I'm still about the 70 page there, so yeah.
You're what?
I said I'm still down around 65 or 70.
It's all right, man. It's all right. We'll work it up. Just keep practicing at that tempo. How did you get along this time with the old funky chicken? A little bit less of the funky chicken? Good. Okay. That's going to help a lot. Okay? That's going to help a lot. Susan, how did you do at 80? Okay. You got some of it? Okay. Well, that's good. That's some progress.
The B part's much easier. I don't know why.
Oh, it's all the arpeggios I make you do all the time. How about you there, Calida? How you doing at 80?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, same for me. The second part is easier for me, but I think I just need to loosen up my right hand, like to get like all the rolls and like everything in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll look at that, loosening up the right hand. I have some ideas, some exercises, things that we can do that next time. So this is good. This is a running list. So next time we're going to work on rolls by themselves. Okay? Rolls on a major scale, and we're going to work on loosening up the right wrist. I have a few ideas. Hand, arm is one of them. Okay? But we'll do a whole bunch more. How about Pearl? Pearl, did you do okay at 80?
I did okay, though I find sometimes my notes aren't speaking, and I think that's partially because my bow's not actually moving at a big enough distance to actually have a sound. So
You're onto something there. That's kind of one of the most prevalent problems with playing Scottish and Irish music on the fiddle is that when the tempo goes up, the instinct is for the bow to get shorter. Okay? And of course it's physics. If I'm going faster, I'm going to be using less bow, but I'm trying to use more. Okay? And that's what turns this into this. See that? That's all it is. So you're absolutely right, Pearl. More distance, more real estate on the bow, and you won't have that problem anymore. Okay? Let's try it again, guys. Karen, you're doing okay at 80 on the piano there? Okay. Okay, I'm going to press play on this thing again so I can keep you all honest. My problem is always speeding up. If I don't pay attention, that's what happens to me. My God, this downhill room is really doing my head in. I'm going to have to get some brakes for my chair. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, go! Now let's take a look at the old Maid Behind the Bar. We'll do the same treatment and then we'll try the whole set, okay? So we're going to try the Maid Behind the Bar, but not too fast. Okay, and people that already have it really, really well, just try to do a few of the tricks I'm doing in there. See if you can challenge yourself. Okay, here we go. Maid Behind the Bar. Ready, slow. looks like they're clicking along just magically there. I only have looks to go by. How we doing? How we feeling? Is it feeling okay? Oh, great. Okay. So we're going to try that one at 82. All right. Karen, I saw you trying to get the melody with your right hand, eh? Dougie McPhee style. Dougie McPhee was a piano player from Cape Breton that was really, I mean, still around, really good at doing that. Like, he'd be accompanying you, and then just the next thing you know, he's playing the melody right alongside you. You know, is it really?
A little get some of the notes, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Keep trying it.
Quite have the rhythm of it all, but that's okay. You know, just messing around.
The rhythm for a reel is a backbeat rhythm. Ooga-chaka, 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 kind of like that. Okay? Especially with the Cape Breton style. They really built that out, eh?
Yeah.
Okay? Keep that in the back of your mind. Backbeat. The 2 and the 4. Okay, we're going to try her at 80. That's how fast we're gonna go. Put your helmets on, fasten your seatbelts. 1, 2, 3, and... Pretty good there, guys. You feeling okay at 80? I mean, we've been working on this one a long time, and some of you guys already knew it, so not surprised if it worked out okay. Right on, right on. So now, let's do the set, okay? Drunken, barmaid, wise maid. And let's not do it at 80. Let's do it at 75, okay? Now this is going to give everybody a chance to get all the stuff in that they were mentioning before, whether it's bowing or rolls or the finger patterns or the right hand, more bow, whatever it is you're trying to get in there, this is your chance, okay? 2 times each, starting with the Drunken Landlady. This is absolutely delicious citrus beverage that Jerome made me. Absolutely delicious.
So the drunk and the maid behind the bar and the wise maid, is that the order we do it?
That's the order, yeah. Because she was, she owned her pub, and then she lost it because she was a drunk, and she had to be the barmaid, and then she got wise. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and... All right, that's a nice set. I love how it starts in E minor and then bumps down and up. And when I say that, I mean it goes down to D, because E is higher than D, but you go to the major key, so it kind of brightens and lifts a little bit, eh? Always nice, a drop and a lift. Okay, so do you think that's a doable project? We'll work on that all week. For the people that are still kind of feeling like it's a bit fast, don't try to go faster at all. Just try to get better at 75 all week, okay? More precise, whatever you need to do. And then next time we're going to put the whole setup at 85 and see what happens. Because going fast is the tester, eh? That's what tells you what needs work. And that's why whenever we go fast, I always say, please tell me what stopped you. What was the first thing that stopped you? Because when you go fast, that's what it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you what part you might not know, a pickup note you might misunderstand, or a bowing direction you have wrong. Could be something like that, okay? So, only 75 all week. Now, remind me of a slow one, guys. We haven't done a slow one in ages and ages. We're doing all these eighth notes flying around the helmet, and we haven't done a slow one in a while. So, somebody tell me what slow ones we have done.
Should get farewell.
Oh, lovely. Yes. You know what? I was on Saturday afternoon. I had a really nice afternoon because I tuned into Ashley McIsaac's live stream that he did on Facebook. It was kind of a fundraiser for himself. Poor guy. He said he had posted on Facebook a while ago that after doing his taxes this year, he might have to declare bankruptcy because there's just like, for a guy like that, he only does shows for like 10,000 people. He doesn't do shows for 100 people. So there's no bread and butter, you know? So the poor guy. But anyway, the live stream was highly entertaining. Highly entertaining. Because he was in the mood to play. And I've known Ashley since I was like 15. When he wants to play, oh my God, you see some beautiful fiddle playing. And that's the way it was on Saturday. He played Tullochorrum. Did a great job of that. Somebody requested a hornpipe. And in Cape Breton, you know, we have different hornpipes in Cape Breton, right? We don't have the Irish ones that you think of. We have different ones. So a hornpipe in Cape Breton is like this one. Saratoga hornpipe. See that? So it's a very different thing, but they're always hard. They're in flat keys, they're in C major, and he was flying all over the place. It was just great, and he seemed to be inspired. He got more into it. He played the William Marshall stuff that goes right up here too, and it was really, really fun. And his stories were also quite entertaining too. But he played Shogun because somebody requested it. And he was talking about Jay Younger, who is a great guy. He's the guy that wrote it. Anyway, so I think that'd be great. Why don't we do a Shogun? And I'm going to try for the high D at the end. I don't know about you guys. I've been practicing it a lot because of this Mason's apron. So I'm going to try to go up to the... That's the high D there, at the very end. Okay. A Shogun farewell. Ready and... high D was in tune, but my high A was flat. Flatter than a puddle. Anyway, it's alright. I'll keep working on it. How did you guys do? How did you feel about Shogun? It's not really that hard, right? That's the thing. It's kind of, it's more of a kind of a big picture thing. So, yep.
It's the only one I have memorized, but I don't, in the past I haven't done AABB, I've just done ABAB, so.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it's I think it's supposed to be repeated, but it's good for the practice anyway. Definitely the B part, because the first time you're supposed to do the regular ending, and the second time you go up to the high D. So I can remember seeing the music of that when I was a kid. What was I going to say now? So a few ideas. You hear a few ideas I'm doing in there. Really easy, quick things to do. See that? Little grace notes there. It's just very simple. I'm playing a C, little grace note, playing a B, little grace note. That's it. That's all it is. And then again. See that? Very simple, easy to do. It dresses it up so nicely. And then there's some double stops. So I got those grace notes. You see how I'm doing F sharp and A there. Classic D major double stop. Now I'm doing the same idea except on a different set of strings. See that? D2, open D. G or G double stop. And then I stay on that group of strings. More of that one. Octave. And I love to do that one there. And a lot of people I know do that one there. So the melody, I'm just playing on both strings. See that? And then I finish off with C sharp E. Very nice little combo to do there. See that? And then I just do the same, all the same. Some more of that. And then I do just a roll. Slow one, like that. See that? See, I can do that stuff because I'm a failed Cape Breton. I left the island and I'm living up here in Toronto with a Protestant. So I can do all that. I can do Irish stuff. I don't care, man. You know? Now in the second part. A lot of double stopping there. You just kind of basically leave your bow on both strings. And that's the thing that a lot of people do there. See that? D, C sharp, down to the C natural, and then the B. So. More of this. Now this one at the bottom is tricky, and many people ask me about it. It's a fifth. The low A is the melody note, and I play it with the E. See that? That's a fifth. One finger on both strings. Lovely. So, and then I can go. See that? D1 and open A there. See that? There. So one move, lots of nice music. Okay. That's the one I do with C. C and E together is beautiful. And then with the D string, more of D and A there. And that's if you're trying to do that, that's how you do that there at the very end. So let's give it one more try before we're done. Okay, I saw you guys working out some of those ideas, so see if you can throw in a whole bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, go to. time. Woo-hoo! It's not hopeless. For me, I'm saying, for me. Anyway, guys, that was a great practice night. Thank you very much. Next week, Next week, okay. Next week, I think we'll be back at full complement. So, but remember, we got some good work we're going to do. We're going to play that set. We're going to work on those rolls, work on some string crossing and double stops, right hand stuff, and we'll see how you do with the 85. Okay? So it'll be a great week. Thanks a million.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.